And we're taking we're taking you back now to our top story, which is about the hostage swap deal that Israel and Hamas have put into force. They've carried out the first batch of the swaps, which includes 13 hostages, children and women, who've been handed over by Hamas to Israel. In fact, to the Red Cross in Egypt, and in exchange, prisoners, 39 or 40 of them, have been released by Israelis as well. These are Palestinian prisoners, and the deal is for 4 days. That's the truce that's been worked out. So there's no fighting that's going on in Gaza. And to talk about what can we expect further, we have Major General Dhruv Katoch with us. He's a well-known strategic expert, director, India Foundation as well. Good evening to you. General Katoch, what can you tell us in terms of how you see this process going forward, and how it's been worked out that at least the first exchange, the first batch of exchange, has been successful?
Thank you, Gautam. In my view, I think, you see, this is a small step, but it is a very important step to kickstart the process. Now, overall, as far as Israel is concerned, as per reports, 50 Israeli hostages will be released. And as of now, just a small number has been returned. But I presume over the next 3 days, all the hostages which have been, not all of them who are in captivity, but 50 of them from the who are under the captivity of Hamas, they will be released. Now, two things are going to come out of this. Once the release starts, to the government of Israel, all the people who have not yet been released, there is going to be a great deal of pressure from the public onto the government. That is one. Number two, what impact is this going to have on the ceasefire? Now, while there will be pressure imposed by all by the citizens of Israel to get all the hostages released, I do not visualize a stoppage of the conflict as of now. The Israeli premier has made it very clear, Mr. Netanyahu, that operations will continue till Hamas is destroyed. Now, destroying Hamas is going to be a very long and tedious process. I don't think it's going to happen, but they will be degraded to a very large extent. How much time that degradation will take place, we will have to wait and watch. But I believe hostilities will continue after this 4 days window is over. Gautam.
Yes, because it's being said that it could be extended beyond the 4 days to a maximum of 10 days. And now that's what we've been hearing. But 10 days, if a dozen odd hostages are released, that still makes up only 120 to 130. Whereas what we've learned is that about 241, at least 241 people are being held hostage in Gaza, either by the Hamas or other factions who are against Israel. And this does not include foreigners. American hostages, 12 Thai hostages have been released today. So it does give some sort of a breathing space for this process to go on and truce to be there in Gaza. But at the end of the day, it will still be back to the fighting as of now.
No, you put it across very well. You see, the possibility of the ceasefire extending from 4 days to 10 days, that is certainly there, and it may happen. But for anybody to expect that this is going to lead to a lasting peace, the ground situation doesn't look that way. You see, I think what has happened after the 7th October attack, Israel has been put in a very vulnerable situation. For the first time, they have found they can be attacked and prisoners taken in the manner which had happened, despite the fact that they had a wall, what they call the Iron Curtain, which was impregnable. But as history teaches us, no wall is impregnable. There is always a method to breach it. It simply requires detailed planning and top secrecy, which the Hamas actually managed to do. So when we're looking at the overall context, I do not visualize a peace treaty or something to come about, but an extension from 4 days to 10 days is absolutely on the cards. I think India will support it. And Indian efforts will be there to really go in for a lasting peace. But the way the ground situation is, I think hostilities will resume sooner rather than later. Gautam.
Now, this deal has been worked out because of a lot of intermediaries, different nations. The U.S. has been involved right from the start. There's Egypt in the mix, of course, as a neighbor, and there's Qatar too, and other countries also been working on ensuring that some sort of peace is brought about and it sustains. Now, since Israel has said that it wants to obliterate, completely destroy Hamas, should at least the international community be asking Israel as to what does it actually mean when it says destroy Hamas? Destroying Hamas could mean killing or capturing its leadership, or it could mean complete annihilation of all its cadres. What does it really mean?
There are two things. Firstly, let us get this aspect straight about annihilation. The Hamas network has been promising to annihilate Israel.
Yes.
They said that Israel has got no place here, and from the Jordan Sea right up to the ocean, that territory is theirs. So they want to annihilate Israel, kill every Israeli to the last person. Iran has supported that. And these statements have come from the Iranian political leadership that we will destroy Israel. Now, as far as Israel is concerned, when they say they want the destruction of Hamas, I think we need to differentiate it from the destruction of the Palestinian people. The Palestinian people are not Hamas. Hamas is simply a terrorist organization which at the moment is ruling the Palestinian people. So I think the Israeli aims will be achieved if they can dismantle a large part of the infrastructure, the tunnel infrastructure which has been constructed by Hamas which has been constructed by Hamas in the Gaza Strip, as also eliminate a major portion of the leadership. So with these two twin aims, because the aim is not really to get territory, holding on to territory of this nature requires tremendous force, and it will be a long-term commitment which Israel will be circumspect about doing.
But does that become clear in terms of how Israel has been conducting its operation through these 48 days that the fighting was on before 7 a.m. local time today, that Israel just wants to dismantle the Hamas infrastructure and large part of its cadre so that its ability to fight is completely lost? Is that coming across, or do you get a sense that Israel is seeking something more, something different?
No, I don't think Israel is at this point of time seeking something more. I think if they can degrade the Hamas infrastructure to an extent by which there will be peace, at least no firing coming from that side for the next decade or so, I think their aim would have been achieved, because they will not allow the tunnels to be built again. And once you eliminate the leadership, it takes a lot of time to really rebuild it. That is one. Number two, as far as holding on to the populated areas is concerned, and the Gaza Strip is a very densely populated area, the amount of resources which are required are humongous, tremendous. So I don't think Israel will really like to go into that. Just to give you a small example, when we are talking about the 65 and 71 India-Pak wars, some people said, why don't you go to the Indian Armed Forces? Why don't you go and take Lahore? Taking Lahore is not the problem. Holding on to Lahore is the problem. How do you hold on to a big city like that? The problems are totally beyond imagination. So Israel understands that. It is a small country. I don't think they want to take over the physical land completely for a long period of time of the Gaza Strip. But they certainly want to destroy the infrastructure there. And I think their aim will be towards that end. It may take us some time to achieve.
And General Katoch, what about the fact that a lot of the Hamas leadership is also abroad and is under some sort of protection in those territories as well, wherever they are?
Well, they were under one of their leaders was under the protection of the government of Dubai, and he was eliminated about 4 or 5 days back. So these operations by intelligence agencies, especially by Mossad, will continue. I think there is no Hamas leader who can sleep peacefully at night, regardless of where he is living. They know the Israeli resolve, and they know that Israel, if not today or tomorrow, within a year or 2 years or 10 years, they will get them. So they are living in constant fear of their lives. And to that extent, I think a part of what Israel intended to achieve has already been done. So in my view, what Prime Minister Netanyahu ultimately does, he'll be answerable to the people of Israel. But in my view, if you achieve these two major objectives, you eliminate the leadership of Hamas and you destroy their war waging potential. If that is done, then they've achieved victory. I don't see any reason why they should go further than that.
Right, and it remains to be seen whether at this stage the people of Israel will seek any change in terms of the leadership of the country, although that has been questioned very, very strongly in the past few days as well. But that is again a question that still awaits an answer. Thanks for joining us and talking about the situation that is prevailing in that part of the world, General Katoch.
Thank you.